following content is not suitable for children, TERFs, Randian objectivists, or members of the Westboro Baptist Church. Welcome! I'm Model V, and this is Why You Shouldn't Play Bioshock. The show where I deep dive the gameplay, story, and politics of this game, and tell you why it sucks and you shouldn't play it. Now you're probably wondering, Model, how did you end up freezing to death in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, surrounded by a ring of fire? Well, like this.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
I'm gonna hijack this plane! No, my favorite necklace. Ooh. Oh. Now the introductions are out of the way, I will admit. Oh. Oh, what's this? I can touch this. I never noticed this before. Wow. Anyway. The title of this video, I will admit, is a bit of a facade. This game is heralded as a classic. I'm very wet, apparently. And for good reason. The classic part. And the wet part. We're gonna find out why. Together on this journey. Damn. That's a thick door. I wonder what's in it. Probably Randian objectivist propaganda. Let's find out. Well, I wasn't wrong. Alright. So I'm gonna be real with you. I do really like this game. I like it a lot. But in the words of Daddy Plague of Grapes, there is no greater love than to nitpick the hell out of a piece of media. Something, I'm not a furry, get cut, seat the scaleless. And I have a lot of nits to pick about this game, because it's regarded with a lot of rose-tinted glasses, but it is good. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be doing either Mass Effect or New Vegas, but instead I chose this game. And I'm sorry to say that this lighthouse, we're going to be in this lighthouse for a while, because the first hour or so of this game is just a lot of exposition and talking and set pieces. A lot of set pieces. Right after another, and then just noise. This is my second attempt at making this, and the first attempt, I just had no room to speak. So we're gonna talk, damn it. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna stare at this giant bronze bust of Andrew Ryan, his big, ugly head. Your waifu is terrible. You suck. You're worse than Hitler, I think. Actually, probably not. You're classifiable with Hitler. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that works. I want the show to be welcoming to both newcomers to Bioshock who just want to know what the hell it is about, and also people who've played the game before and just want to see someone else play it, because Bioshock is, story-wise, it's a piece of dystopic fiction along the lines of 1984. But unlike 1984, which is specifically an authoritarian dystopia, Bioshock and the Shock games in general, including System Shock, focus on a more libertarian dystopia. With System Shock, it was corporatism, and with Bioshock, it is Randian objectivism. So why? Why does a civilization built on these words go so bad? Well, if you follow me down here, also we should read this. In what country is there a place for people like me, Andrew Ryan? I guess underwater. I guess you picked underwater. Okay. We're going underwater if you don't know. I assume even someone who is new to Bioshock and has never played it at least understands the basic premise behind this game. It's a shooter in an underwater city, and there's genetic augmentation magic, science, industry, and art, which I assume are the cornerstones that the civilization has been built on. I'm calling it a civilization rather than a city, because I think that's more apt, despite it only being one city. Now, there are plenty of civilizations that have only existed as one city, and many of them survived for quite a long time. But this phrase, no gods or kings, only man, is interesting. Because obviously Andrew Ryan is an atheist, and he values the atheist idea over religion. But he also values science. And there's this idea, there's the idea in pop culture that the scientific viewpoint of God is atheism. But there's another idea that suggests that that is not true at all. Because by the scientific method, hard answers and conclusions without compounding irrefutable evidence are considered unproductive. You say that the evidence suggests X rather than X is true, unless there's no doubt about it. And even then, there's the scientific understanding that all of our laws about how nature works, all of them could be wrong. There could be exceptions to these rules. Exceptions about gravity, exceptions about light speed. 100 years ago, actually over 100 years ago, a few hundred years ago, people thought that if a person went over 60 miles an hour, all their skin would fly off, as get ripped off by the Air Force or G-Force or what have you. We know that isn't true. To say that God definitely doesn't exist, when we should know that we know way less than what we don't know by unfathomable quantities. The scientific answer to the question of God is, we don't know. And this is coming from someone who isn't agnostic, for the record. But humans are not purely rational beings. As much as we like to think we're capable of being purely rational, that's just not how humans work. And it's not how humans should work, because we couldn't function on that level. But anyway, I won't linger too much on here. I think I've said mostly all that needs to be said. Just remember this quote, because this is important. But who am I, you ask? Who are you to peddle and preach about your own ideology as you ridicule this masterpiece loved by so many an astute gamer? Well, I don't know. I'm just some nerd with a YouTube channel, and I want to make videos to practice video editing. So yeah, you'll figure out my politics eventually as we get to know each other, because this is going to be a long show. And unfortunately, I'm not really going to get into the gameplay very much in this first episode, even though it was the first thing I promised in the spiel. Simply because, again, too many set pieces, not enough room to actually talk about things. There's also the mechanics of the game just get introduced to you very, very slowly. I will state a few things up front. Go into the options menu. gameplay. So we're playing on hard. We're playing with Vita Chambers to save early. Also, this item shimmer, this usable object highlight, I thought I knew what these did. And then I messed with them and realized I don't know what these do. Because if I turn both of these off, this is still glowing. And I thought that was what you turned off, so I don't know what this is. There's so much to talk about this game. But I know none of you want to just listen to me waxing philosophic while sitting in a bathysphere. So, let's pull this lever and begin our journey. Advertisements.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
Subtitle check. Hey, the game, where's the subtitles? Dialogue subtitles. Okay, the subtitles are on.
Just one more minute. Spear's coming up now. Johnny, security's right.
Please.
Get a move on.
No trespass. Just don't hurt me. Just let me go. Just my gun.
Is it someone new?
Would you kindly pick up that shortwave radio?
Okay, I really don't understand. Like, you see this. You see dialogue subtitles on. Off. Play. Back. On. Play.
I don't know how you survived that plane crash, but I've never been one to question Providence. I'm Atlas, and I aim to keep you alive. Now keep on moving. We're gonna have to get you to higher ground. I won't leave you twisting in the wind.
Anyway, I try not to talk during the dialogue.
We're gonna need to draw her out of hiding, but you're gonna have to trust me.
And there is a lot of dialogue. And it's going to interrupt me a lot. This is why I did most of the talking at the start. The great chain is guided by our hand. Anyway, I hope you liked the music at the start, because now there's no more music anymore, and there never will be, because YouTube. Shut up. I'm not scared of you. Spider Mommy. Gory Spider Mommy. Goru Spider Mommy.
Just a bit border. How do you like that, mister? Now, would you kindly find a crowbar or something? Bloody splicer. Seal Johnny in before they... Goddamn splicers.
Interesting choice of words there. Anyway, this is the wrench. It hits things. And this is the flaming couch. It doesn't do any damage.
I'm not a bad person.
And this is Johnny. Johnny's dead.
My daddy's smarter than Einstein, struggled in Hercules, and lights a fire with a snap of his finger. Are you as good as my daddy, mister? Not if you don't visit the Gatherer's Garden, you aren't. Smart daddies get sweat at the garden.
Plasmid. This is our first look at the genetic engineering and blatant advertisement. Capitalist. Oh. Oh. So many ads. All of you. I know all of you got ad block. But it doesn't work here. That doesn't work in Rapture. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm gonna take these drugs now. Bye. I like how it makes the bones of my wrist snap.
Your genetic code is being rewritten. Just hold on and everything will be fine.
This little fish looks like he just had his cherry popped. Wonder if he's still got some Adam on him. Let's buck. Weak! You're a weak chopper. This little fish ain't worth towing it with no big daddy. Yellow always had been. You'll be no better off with Metal Daddy, little fish. See you floating upright.
Mommy?
Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's an angel. I can see light coming from his belly. Wait a minute, he's still breathing. It's all right. I know he'll be an angel soon.
Yeah, that part is always creepy. Just so creepy.
You alright, boyo? First time plasma's a real kick from a mule. But there's nothing like a fistful of lightning now, is there?
This game, it can come off so cartoony sometimes. But it's like, hey, here's blatant child exploitation. Here you go. Want you to suck on that for a while. Matey, need these chips. Anyway, this is our first plasmid. The genetic engineering magic thing that the gameplay of Bioshock is based around. Now, out of all the scientific leaps that could be achieved by humanity, rapidly change how our society works, the first one that's going to happen is probably going to be genetic engineering. A few years ago, we thought that was going to be cybernetics. A few decades before that, people thought it would be space travel. But no. Right now, with CRISPR, genetic engineering is becoming like more and more of a reality every day. Now, will we be able to shoot lightning from our hands? Probably not, but well, we'll find out. Set piece, set piece, set piece, yes! Ah. Genetic engineering is probably the thing that Bioshock is the least to comment about, ironically enough. They do get into it, of course. But the proliferation of plasmids from a story perspective is just here. It's a thing. It's a weapon that anyone can get their hands on, so it creates instability. It really doesn't go much further than that, fortunately.
Splicer! Give him the combo. Zap him, then whack him. 1-2 punch. Remember, the 1-2 punch.
At least in regards to the text of the story. Gameplay-wise, plasmids tell a very... Oh, that's sad. Gameplay-wise, the Rapture arms race, as they call it, really comes out quite well.
I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Heroin. I mean Eve. As you can see, electroshock plus wrench is a very effective combo. Some people say that you can play the entire game with just wrench. Alright, my arch nemesis, set pieces. Anyway, they said you can play the entire game with electroshock plus wrench. And I find those people boring. Those are the kinds of people who have their toast without any butter on it.
Tell Ryan I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
No, you won't.
Leave me alone. I'm bad. I didn't mean anything bad.
What? This water is a metaphor for the bleeding of the human soul. And the crushing despair of capitalism. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just bullshitting. There really isn't much to talk about the story at this point.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe... I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now. But you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again. Go to Neptune's bounty. Find my family, please.
You're gonna be the lonely one, and you are the lonely one. No one will be there to sing this song. Mommy's gone. And Daddy too. Wait. This is happening before and none. Why aren't you here? Why is it today and not then when you were warm and sweet? Why can't Mommy hold you to her breast and feel your teeth? Oh, no. No, 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 no.
Plasmids changed everything. They destroyed our bodies, our minds. We couldn't handle it. Best friends butchering one another. Babies strangled in cribs. The whole city went to hell.
So I said that plasmids don't really have much to do with the story, and Atlas over here just contradicted me. And well, a little bit of a spoiler. He's lying. He's a liar, and he's not to be trusted. Not that much of a story. I mean, would you trust anyone in this city, given everything that's happened? I have a family. Please, you gotta find them. Oh. But a big part of this game is the nature of free will and how gamers play games. So of course the first NPC you find gives the sob story. Like that's what you expect in shooters, and just games in general. Anyway, this is our first glimpse at the very Bethesda Studio-esque environmental storytelling.
I'll do what I want. It's my
Shut up!
iron.
I'm talking.
Charlie! Charlie, where you going? No, Charlie!
Get out here. I am not a good shot apparently. Wow. Normally I get her in two, but no. I wasted all of my ammo. Okay. Yes, apparently whatever went down happened in 1959. Like 15 years after Rapture's founding. Anyway, it's time to booze. So yes, the shtick is alcohol increases your health but lowers your EVE. Cigarettes do the opposite. And any healthy food doesn't have any side effects. There's a lot of scavenging. What do we have here?
Another New Year's, another night alone. I'm out and you're stuck in Hephaestus, working. Huh. Imagine my surprise. Oh, I guess I'll have another drink. Here's a toast to Diane McClintock, silliest girl in Rapture. Silly enough to fall in love with Andrew Ryan. Silly. What happened? I'm bleeding. Oh God. What's happening?
Yeah. So apparently Andrew Ryan had... I'm not going to explain. There's nothing to talk about with that recording. It's just, hey, terrorism happened. Now we know how this explosion got started. Whatever. Let's go shoot something. Beans!
If you spot a splicer in the water, hit him with the electrobolt.
It's always so satisfying. Anyway, I will have more to talk about with Electrobolt when I have something to compare it to. For now, just know that it stuns. If you damage a target, it will de-stun it. And melee does more damage to stun targets. At least the Electrobolt stun. I don't know if it works for the ice one. First time I did a recording, that scared the shit out of me, and I'm sad that we'll never get on camera again. Because it will never get me again. But I'm glad I got the heroin. I mean the Eve.
I'm too spliced up. Nobody's gonna want me.
Nothing like tripping balls.
Call the cops on me?
Yeah. Sure thing, buddy.
Hey, Brenda, you care to tell me why you've had a hole in the wall the size of Plymouth Rock coming out of your crapper going on 3 weeks now? Nah, I ain't saying I'm Shakespeare. I'm trying to run a respectable theater. I got working folk coming in from Port Neptune trying to catch a little diversion. And all I can think about is the stink coming out of your shitter. Get it fixed.
Hey man, I know you just had like terrorist attack. That shadow that you saw, by the way, is nothing. No terrorist attack, kind of like wrecked your theater and your livelihood. But can you really fix the toilet? Because you're hurting my vibe, man. Welcome to Rapture.
Careful now. Would you kindly lower that weapon for a minute?
I feel strangely compelled to do what you say.
You think that's a child down there? Don't be fooled. She's a little sister now. Somebody went and turned a sweet baby girl into a monster. Whatever you thought about right and wrong on the surface, well, that don't count for much down in Rapture. Those little sisters, they carry Adam, the genetic material that keeps the wheels of Rapture turning. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it.
Love that little animation he does. Child violence. Time to go to jail, pedo. Death jail. Oh.
That's the big daddy. She got it, Adam. He keeps her safe.
This phallic drill weapon. Though, I don't actually think there's much to that. I think they just thought the drill was cool, and it is. Oh shit! I ran out of. Man, I am really off my game tonight. At least the commentary is better and much more relaxed. Although I still have Bioshock 2 reflexes going on. Anyway, today I save. I mean, now I'm saving my game. Because I'm gonna die here. Probably, maybe. Go in this toilet that I thought was a unisex toilet. Because it says gents here. I thought it must have said women over there. And look at this. Who designs a toilet like this? Why? 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 What? I have a feeling, I have a theory that this was supposed to be a men and women's bathroom. But then they designed the fighting arena and they were like, you know, it'd be a lot better if these two locations linked so you could like kite the splices around it and make for a more interesting gameplay. It's like, but that has weird implications if it's a men and women's bathroom that are linked. Just make it both men's bathroom. Because for some reason there's no women's bathroom here. Anyway, let's fight. Let's shoot some stuff.
Security alert in progress.
I'm good looking. Can't they see that?
And by fight, I mean do this. I did not see him. Woo. Remember, loot and shoot. I gotta get the money, man. You know, that's what this society is built upon. Money at all costs. I'm entitled to the sweat of my brow, aren't I? Oh no.
Oh, Christ! You're trapped! Gonna try to override the exit from here.
So tell me, friend, which one of the bitches sent you?
Mommy sent me here.
Wolf with a CIA jackal. Here's the news. Rapture isn't some sunken ship for you to plunder. And Andrew Ryan isn't a giddy socialite who can be slapped around by government muscle. And with that, farewell, or das Vivania, whichever.
This guy really hates taxes. Alright, so I just learned that if you stay in that loading area for too long, it will just kick you into the next mission. I was trying to do the outro then, but I guess I'll do the outro here. This has been the first episode of Why You Shouldn't Play Bioshock. I'm Model V. Please grope the subscribe button and dislike or like the video and tell me how I offended you in the comments and what should happen to me because of it. I'll see you next time.